This is Tomonews for Tuesday, January 10th. New male birth control method may soon be available. A new type of male contraceptive called Vasogel may be able to provide a reversible and less invasive form of vasectomy from the testes along ducts, known as the vas deferens. Vasogel is a polymer hydrogel injected into the vas deferens in order to block the path of the sperm. The permeable gel allows seminal fluid to pass while filtering the sperm, which are too large to pass the barrier. Studies show the gel is 100% effective at preventing conception. The procedure can be easily reversed by an injection of a sodium bicarbonate solution. Vasogel is not believed to interfere with sperm production or hormone levels, thus minimizing side effects.
Suspects take selfies on stolen iPad, upload them to iCloud. A pair of non-tech-savvy criminals made a costly mistake after stealing a Texas man's laptop, cash, and iPad, then took celebratory post-theft selfies that made their way to the victim's iCloud account. On January 8th, 20-year-old Dorian Marquis Walker Gaines and his brother from another mother, Dylan, were looking for some quick cash. They thought they hit it big when they broke into Randy Schaefer's truck and made off with his MacBook Pro, $5,000 in cash, and his iPad. With everything going right for the young men, they opted to continue having it their way by stopping for a quick bite to eat at Burger King just 2 miles down the street. These two boneheads took 17 selfies using Schaefer's iPad, flaunting their newfound Benjamins, and shot this Burger King ballin' video.
Your money is this in your greenest house. Nu vine poliția.
Nej.
Este la fel ca hârtie.
Da.
Faci. Punem la gură.
The budget-conscious ballers next hopped across the street to Starbucks, where they connected to free Wi-Fi to post their video to YouTube and Facebook. Schaefer later discovered his truck had been broken into when he was headed over to work. Frustrated and feeling violated, a week passed before it dawned on Schaefer to log onto his iCloud account, which is when he spotted the stupid suspect's selfies. Houston police successfully identified Gaines, who had previous run-ins with the law, thanks to the words he had tattooed on his chest. Brilliant. These idiots have since, unsurprisingly, been arrested.
Chinese student crushed to death by faulty university elevator. Shockingly graphic footage of a man dying in an elevator accident is currently the most watched clip on the Chinese video sharing site Youku, with over 3.5 million views. On September 14th at around 5:50 p.m., a Chinese student majoring in architecture became stuck in an elevator at Huaqiao University in Xiamen. Visit Tomonews.net for the full video. As the student enters the elevator, it malfunctions, jerking upwards suddenly and trapping the student between the elevator and the floor. His chest is slowly crushed as in a scene straight out of a horror film. He starts to twitch. A rescue team finally managed to free him at around 6:20 p.m., but he was quickly pronounced dead. Just before 9 p.m., his body was transported off campus and his parents arrived. Police say they are investigating the deadly incident. Sadly, there was no happy ending to this horrible story that would fit right into the plot of a Final Destination movie. Our sympathies go out to his family. Man dies after being thrown from Pakistan amusement park ride. A man was killed and at least 12 people were injured when a ride fell apart at an amusement park on September 15th in Multan, Pakistan. The accident occurred on a swing ride at Jinnah Park in the Punjab region. The ride was carrying 2 rows full of people. As the riders were spinning around, it appears that a seatbelt malfunction caused one male rider to be ejected from his seat. The man then came down and landed on the concrete right in front of a ride operator. The injured were transported to a nearby hospital, and the man who was thrown later succumbed to his injuries. Police have arrested the contractor as well as the ride operator.
Girl scalped in carnival ride accident in Nebraska.
A young girl in Nebraska is now without hair after a horrifying accident at a Cinco de Mayo carnival over the weekend. On May 7th, 11-year-old Elizabeth Gilreath boarded the King's Crown, a popular ride that spins in circles. When the ride started moving, everything seemed fine, but the joy was not to last. Witness accounts claim Elizabeth slid down her seat and somehow her hair got caught to the moving parts of the ride's machinery, tearing the hair and skin clean off her head. The thing kept moving until other riders began screaming in horror. When the ride operators and witnesses came to Elizabeth's aid, in a dazed state she reportedly asked, "Where's my pretty hair?" After suffering a fractured skull, Elizabeth has had surgery and is recovering at a Nebraska hospital. Doctors are unsure whether she'll be able to grow her hair back. Meanwhile, the King's Crown ride has been shut down as an investigation into the malfunction is being conducted.
Florida man Boinks pit bull puppy sends video to his girlfriend. Billy Joseph Edward Taylor was arrested and charged with sexual activities involving an animal on Tuesday afternoon. He allegedly recorded himself making sweet puppy love to a small pit bull. Taylor, who lives in St. Augustine, Florida, reportedly had several amorous interactions with the poor puppy dog. As if that weren't bad enough, he recorded his indiscretions and sent the footage to his girlfriend in an email. A year later, she broke up with him and turned him into the cops after she found even more evidence of bestiality with the dog on his computer. Taylor was arrested and is being held on $10,000 bond. He has a previous criminal record for theft, and a stolen camera was found in his home at the time of his arrest.
Sports reporter gets $55 million in damages in nude video lawsuit. Michael David Barrett and the owners of a Tennessee hotel are set to pay millions in damages after being found liable in the Erin Andrews nude video case. In 2008, Barrett went to the Marriott at Vanderbilt University, where Andrews was staying. He found out her room number through an in-house employee phone. After checking that the room next to her was empty, he made a request to the front desk and was able to book it. Barrett used a hacksaw to tamper with Andrews' peephole while she was out of the room. He filmed her naked through the tampered peephole and uploaded the illicit video a year later after trying and failing to sell it to TMZ. Barrett was convicted of stalking in 2009 and served a 20-month prison sentence. He was released in 2012. A Nashville jury awarded $55 million to Andrews to be split 51% and 48% between Barrett and the Nashville Marriott, respectively. Andrews sued in 2010, citing negligence after the hotel allowed Barrett to take the room next to hers and shoot the video, which has now been viewed more than 17 million times.
Watch the aftermath of the horrific Alton Towers coaster crash. Just after 2 in the afternoon on Tuesday, the Smiler roller coaster at Alton Towers Amusement Park crashed while traveling at about 50 miles per hour. 4 people were seriously injured, and 1 thrill seeker might lose a leg after the accident that left passengers trapped 25 feet above the ground for almost 4 hours. According to Alton Towers, all of the guests were evacuated by 6:35 p.m. 2 men aged 18 and 27, and 2 women aged 19 and 17 were airlifted to the hospital. It all happened when the Smiler, which holds the Guinness World Record for the most loops of any roller coaster, was experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians sent an empty test coach through the dizzying ride, followed by a coach carrying 16 people. The empty coach got stuck somewhere along the line, and the one with people in it then collided with the empty one. Reports say the ride had been closed earlier in the day because it had broken down before being reopened. This is the 3rd time in the 2 years since the ride opened that the Smiler has been closed due to a malfunction. Back in July of 2013, pieces of the ride fell off and 48 people had to be evacuated. Then, in November of 2013, some guide wheels flew off, injuring one of the passengers.